Not all of us
All right.
can keep it.
Let's get serious. We got to get serious a little bit here. Even though there's Richard Haskell and stuff like that exists in the world, we have to be a little bit sensitive in the beginning of it.
That's true. And we're also live.
We're live on YouTube, but not on Facebook yet. I just can't get this pixelated shit to work this time.
Hi, YouTube.
Howdy.
No one ever comes on YouTube, but there will be some people dropping in on live.
Well, I remember when YouTube was newer and their censorship policies were a little less strict. I came all the time on YouTube.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was right on time.
Right. All right.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
Gosh, I wish I've got it to work before. I mean, does it matter if it's up? It matters if it's up here.
I like the ambient train sounds as well. It gives atmosphere to
I think that's
the overall sound profile.
Yeah, that's a train not too far from my neighborhood.
Okay, I think I got this figured out. Whoa.
This time on Mercury's Cast, does Travis have it figured out? We'll find out next time on Mercury's Cast. 1 hour later.
Well, if you guys were as much of a good podcaster as you are of a smart ass, the show'd be a lot better.
Oh. Hey, I can't carry everything.
Okay, come on. Almost there.
I've only got enough personality for my half. I need you to really pick things up on your end, buddy. Pal.
I'm just the host, all right?
Actually, I was talking with the girly friend earlier. We thought of the perfect birthday present for you.
Perfect what?
Birthday present for you.
For me?
Yeah.
You're waiting a long time, buddy. Wes, are you good on time?
I'm gonna have to save up.
I'm sorry, say again?
Are you good on time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to save up for a while before we can buy it for you.
Got it. I think I got it.
We're buying you an entire shipping container of just for men for that.
No, I like it, bro. It's flair.
It is flair. Your chin looked like a skunk tail.
All right. Let me do this fucking intro. And I think we're good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
Are you doing the intro this time, or am I?
No, let me do the intro. We got to have some sort of sensitivity going on here.
Yes, our listeners are known for their sensitive taste.
Damn, I just realized I had to move it again.
I just realized I ran out of chocolates. Shit.
Can't get next to you. Oh, it's pretty good. No, center.
It's the final countdown. We're leaving together.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That sounded like you broke something.
No, it came defective like that.
Do I make the joke or do I not? We are live now.
No, we're not. Oh, the video is. Oh, the video is. Okay, let's start it. Fuck.
Well, I'll give you a timestamp. It is currently 7:37.
Oh, fuck. All right. Yeah, I got to figure these things out ahead of time for live on YouTube. Because I forget that we just bullshit, and then
my dog says hello.
It's a puppy. It's a cute puppy. So that's the fun thing is, I usually or typically hate most people, but boy, do I love aminals.
Roxy, come here. Did she go outside with me?
Roxy.
Sorry, I think I left. Oh, okay. Thought I left my little dog outside.
Roxanne.
Someone fell off. Maybe I don't need that one. Yeah, I do. I'm engineering right now.
Engineering. Oh, so the other day I was making some scratch money, doing a little 1-day job out holding a sign, you know, easiest money you'll ever get. And we had like 22-mile-an-hour winds rolling in, and this sign was about 20. I did some math, some engineering to try and figure this shit out, because it was about a 27.5 square foot sign, and at 22-mile-an-hour wind speeds, I think, and maybe if anyone is actually watching on YouTube right now for the live cast, someone can correct me on this, but I think that every wind gust that went up to 22 miles an hour was approximately like 60 to 70 pounds of force pushing on a flat surface. And this thing kept like bending in and caving in, and I think that amplifies the effect. So,
All right.
I was just flexing
Alex,
the brain muscles
try to
because.
stay centered in your screen.
Huh?
Try and stay centered in your screen. Because this is gonna. I'm not centered. All right. We'll do that. Okay, this has gone on long enough. 7:40.
Wes needs to center his dog on the screen.
Oh,
puppy.
Thank you, babe.
okay, wait. I'm going. We're going live. 3, 2, 1. Dude. What's happening, everybody? This is Mercury's Cast, episode 80. And before we go any further with any kind of introduction, it first needs to be noted that our, I guess, thoughts and prayers would be one way to say it. Our hearts and feelings go out to anybody that was affected by the shooting that happened in Parkland, Florida, where apparently 17 people may have gotten killed. And first, we just have to acknowledge our respect and have some empathy for the victims and the families of anybody that might have been affected, and friends and family and all that. There is a trend that is occurring where we are seeing, mass shooters. It's just hard to put it into words what's going on right now for very many different reasons. But for anyone that has been affected by that, our hearts go out to you, and you are in our thoughts. So now, after we've gotten that out of the way, Alexander, this is the part where I bring you in and ask you how you're doing and what's up and new with you, and then you pretty much tell me nothing.
Oh, well, absolutely nothing's up with me, and nothing is new. I am moving in, I guess now, about a week's time. Cross-country move, driving across the country. It's going to be a fun little road trip. California to Arkansas.
That's not how you say it.
Arkansas. Arkansas.
That's not how you say it, bro. If anyone's having trouble hearing Alexander or the next guest that we will bring up now, Wes Clayburn, how are you doing, my man? Welcome back to the show. A beardless Wes Clayburn by that.
Yes, since the last time we've talked, I've actually gotten a haircut and shaved. So lost 20 pounds by doing so.
So you think you look lighter by getting a haircut and then shaving off the beard, or do you look? You said you look lighter, or did you lose 20 pounds just by doing it? I don't know what you meant.
Oh
by that.
no, it was 20 pounds of hair.
Okay. Wow, that was the third option
had,
that I just did not even consider. That is amazing.
but I have been on quite the weight loss odyssey over the last 2 years. I've lost almost 100 pounds. So.
Oh well, shit me howdy. Good, congratulations to you, man. That's good. I love hearing stories like that.
Well, I appreciate that.
How'd you do it?
So Alexander, is that bow tie new? Because that's something that could be going on new with you. Is that bow tie? By the way, that shit is looking nice tonight. That shit's on fleek.
Funny enough, let's just dig through the empire of dirt here. It was gonna be this one.
Oh, thank God you didn't put that one on.
That's pretty festive.
For the podcast listeners, it was like pink and black, and it's not good.
Oh, it was outer. It was galactic. Oh shit! Empire of Dirt strikes again. Or I could have gone with this one.
Okay, that's about enough of that. Mr. Wes, can you give us kind of an update on what Houston's like? Because for anyone that doesn't know, Wes lives in the Houston area, was affected by Hurricane Harvey. We did an episode on that. For anyone that wants to go back, I don't have the number in my head, but that's how I met Wes, and he was happy to come on and talk about all the stuff that went down. Lots of damage, lots of flooding. Obviously, there was. He showed us. If you go to the YouTube of that episode, you can see flooding going down his street. It was all the way up to his porch almost. So how have these how have you and your family, because I know that you had a flooded garage with like refrigerator and food, and then two, I've seen a lot of community people coming together to fix. There's been a lot of just like people getting together, a lot of groups formed to try and take care of the massacre that was Hurricane Harvey. So tell me a little bit about those two things.
Well, the city responded like I've never seen before. I've never really seen that many people willing to help people that they didn't know, all in the name of just trying to help somebody else get back to normal when their lives weren't normal as well. I mean, there were people that were avoiding stripping all the sheetrock out of their houses so they could help their neighbors out. And as far as infrastructure, I mean, it was there were parts of the city that were really hard to navigate for about 2 weeks. I would say 3 weeks from the start of the storm to when the roads got back to where you could travel normally around town. The Beltway, which is the loop outside of the loop, was shut down for 2 weeks, and that's like one of the main stretches to get anywhere around Houston. And so that caused a lot of problems. But the city rebounded. I mean, just as well as anything I've ever seen. I mean, it's amazing. I went and did some work at a church for my company. We were doing some repairs, and there were probably 100 people in the parking lot. Some people drove from as far away as like New York just to come and help, and they were just at this one church, which was not like a mega church. This was just a small, church with probably 400 or 500 members or whatever. And then of course we won the World Series, so that was to see some people watching the World Series in their house with nothing but studs on showing, and a TV sitting on a box, and seeing these people jump up and down, and just finally have something to really hold on to. Because I mean, that storm, I mean, it just did untold damage for everyone. I mean, there was not a single person around Houston that wasn't affected. So
so that's something incredible to think about that I didn't even consider. And I'm an Angels fan. Only I got an Angels hat on right now. I had some money on Houston, so I was happy to see them win. But just it was almost like 9/11 when I think the Yankees won the year after. They got to the World Series, but to actually win the whole thing, and that's but not only that, like the Houston has a credible, and I don't want to go too far deep into this, but Houston 3 to 4 years ago, they were just dog shit. The reason why they got as good as they are is because of their general manager.
Oh, Luno's, yeah.
No. They invested into the farming system. They weren't trying to draft. They weren't trying to trade for big players like all these $100 million contracts going on. They were investing money into the farming system. So that's how they were able. So it was a kind of a big gamble, and it ended up paying off for them, obviously, which was another even like Cinderella story of Houston. But let's get an update on how things are going. Is there still a bunch of properties down? Is still businesses down? Obviously, I can imagine.
Most of our small businesses have gotten up and running. I mean, it's really amazing and a testament to the people of Houston as to how everybody bounced back as well as they, as good as they did. Now there are still thousands of people that aren't in their homes. There's homes that, either for one reason or another, they're fighting FEMA, they're fighting insurance. They can't get contractors to their houses fast enough. So there's still neighborhoods you can go to. There's neighborhoods within 5 miles of me that you can go to that you can tell just nobody's been able to do anything to their houses. So the folks just aren't there.
Would you say that it's going down more in the poorer neighborhoods where no one wants to invest money into?
No, this is these are middle class neighborhoods. These are your people who live in the suburbs and commute into the city to work. And so a lot of people are still displaced, living with relatives, renting apartments, just anything that they can do while they wait till they get back to their houses.
So, Alexander, any kind of anything tickle your fancy over there?
Well, I had a few things. I would say that at least maybe in your opinion, would you say that this would probably be the best time to be a redneck, though?
Oh, most definitely.
Like the people that really can do, maybe they're not the sharpest light bulbs in the garden, but they're the ones that are probably the most capable of doing real things. Like,
oh yeah,
handiwork.
There should be a statue somewhere in Houston of a guy in a bass boat, being pulled by a beat up truck. I mean, that's literally what saved this city.
So since we're on that, what about the Cajun Army? How much did they contribute? Because I heard they did some incredible things down there for their cause.
Those guys just, I mean, we're talking guys that live south of I-10 in Louisiana, which south of I-10, if you live south of I-10, you're in a house on stilts over water. A lot of them, when you talk to them, their accent is and their English is so mixed with their Creole, and it's like I mean, they're just the greatest people on earth because they showed up. Most of them probably didn't have enough gas money just to get to Houston. It may be enough 5 gallons of gas for their boat, but they came by the thousands. And
it's incredible, and as tough as Hurricane Harvey was, as disastrous and big and nasty of a storm that it really was a testament to the people. First America, but then second, just the Texas and the people down south that catch a bad rap a lot of the time for being this or that. So I think that's kind of a beautiful thing.
I think my point is, sometimes, especially in the white collar workplace and white collar society, the boomhauers in life sometimes get the short end of the stick, and I've always seen a lot of resourcefulness in that neighborhood. From the Boomhauers, the Cletuses, the Jethros. I come from a long line of Ernie's and Pee-wees and
yeah.
So working in the white collar, sometimes there's a lot of jokes like that, but I can always look at situations like these where maybe society itself has come to a halt for a moment. Nature had other plans, and it just comes down to, can you do something or can't you? Can you hang drywall? Can you not? Do you have a John boat? Do you know how to make a John boat out of duct tape and 2x4?
Yep.
I must hear our buddy Josh Ferguson before we carry on. He's got a pretty interesting comment here. He says, "Hey, you what, man? You talking about old meaning of life, man? Go read that old Hitchhiker's Guide, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. 42, man."
Dang old don't.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you for that update. That's a Boomhauer quote, by the way. So thank you for that update, Wes. Every time I see you, I'm going to ask you about that. So just expect it, I guess.
27 years later. Hey, how's that recovery coming?
There'll probably still be some shit that they're working on. But the fucked up thing about Hurricane Harvey is that there was like what was the next hurricane that happened? Like everyone forgot about Harvey. Like, oh yeah, there was like two more other really bad hurricanes.
Yeah, there was Irma.
It was what, Irma? Yeah, Irma.
And then the one that hit Puerto Rico. I can't remember what that one was.
Oh, that one was terrible too. Yeah, that was a bad season. And then you said you just had the worst winter ever over there, right?
Well, yeah. In December, it snowed 3 times, and that seeing snow here is non-existent. The last time it snowed was, well, it snowed like 2 years ago, maybe. And it snowed 3 times in 1 month. So my son, he's 5 years old, finally got to see snow for the first time in his life. But we went through a stretch where there was a 5-day period where every night was 20 degrees or below. And no plumbing outside of anyone's homes in this area is designed to handle temperatures that drop that low. I mean, if you didn't prepare, I mean, it's like preparing for a hurricane. If you didn't prepare for all of the frozen pipes and stuff like that, you were kind of SOL, because there was sleet and rain involved in it too. So in the morning, the roads were iced over, so the highways shut down just like it did during Harvey. I mean, it crippled the city for like 2 days. I'm
thinking back, like the last time I remember snow. Well, different part of Texas, but the last time I can remember it was like Easter in like 2010. That was the last real good season for snow I can remember for Texas. That doesn't happen often. It happens, but it doesn't happen often.
Yeah, I mean, we may have like a 1 or 2 day stretch where we get down below 32, and everybody freaks out then. But when it hits 20 degrees, it's great for my business. I mean, we've been able to do very well just because of repairs that we do. I work for an irrigation company, so we've been repairing people's.
Yeah, for anyone that's wondering what he does, we went over it. You can go back and listen to Hurricane Harvey episode somewhere in the 50s, I believe. Go back and listen to that. You can hear all about what Wes does. But for tonight, the main focus on this is going to be, and I think we'll do a tech talk at the end, but I think we should just dive right into what the main climate is, what the wind's blowing in the main climate right now, which is gun control. And after this last mass shooting where somebody who is on psychotropic medications and has had a rough past,
and was also on an FBI watch list.
He was also on an FBI watch list. Also was visited by the cops 39 times. And, well, he was on a watch list, but they didn't really do their job. And there's another thing to go, like, so if you're on an FBI watch list and they can say that you might have a tendency to be a little crazy, should they just lock people up just for on those merits alone? It's kind of a slippery slope, because you could they can just make up excuses to say that this person's crazy and then lock them up. So, but the other thing is, the more important thing right now is that the people are attacking the president and saying that it's his fault. Even some of the craziest allegations are saying that it's because it's President Trump's fault that it happened. And there's a lot of people also saying that now it's up to him to put in some legislation, which I think they've kind of forced his hand to do because he's kind of a populist. So now he's going to try and ban the bump stock, which I think is already illegal in a lot of places. So,
and I think bans are stupid in general, but I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be crying too hard over losing bump stocks. I don't know too many rifle enthusiasts that are like, oh yeah, I got a new bump stock. Fantastic. I mean, I'd be pretty stoked about getting like a slam fire shotgun or something like that, where you can just, yeah. Well, anyways,
but,
I don't think anyone's gonna get too hurt over bump stocks. You know,
I want to hear Wes's opinion about bump stocks, because judging by his hat, it looks like he probably has some experience with it, or at least some information.
I've never shot a bump fire stock. I have shot fully auto weapons before, and in the
so for anyone that doesn't know, the bump stock is just it's a conversion to where it bumps, and it's not
the recoil of the rifle pulls the trigger.
The motion of the rifle is what causes it to be almost like not an automatic fire, but it's pretty close, or what?
It's nowhere near as accurate as an automatic rifle, and it's a backwards mechanism to do it too, because in an automatic rifle, basically the trigger is even circumvented on the rifle, because the trigger just allows the bolt to keep sliding back and forth. Recoil from the cartridge being spent shoots the bolt back, loads another one in, and then in one solid motion, firing pin comes up and hits it again, starts it, the sequence goes. In a semi-auto rifle, you can only do it once, because the trigger is designed to catch once again and prime it to go again. So you have to pull the trigger for each shot. What a bump fire does is every time it comes back, it acts as though you pulled the trigger again. It's not as accurate, and it's not as user-friendly as an automatic weapon, though.
Yeah, I would think it would have the tendency to rise.
It climbs. It climbs.
Yeah.
But all right, go ahead, Wes. Do you have more thoughts on that?
I'm with him. I don't think anybody's going to miss that. And then those who are going to miss it, I mean, I don't really know what that is. One firearm accessory that I don't see a need for. I don't see a need for law enforcement to have something like that. I don't see the need for for us to have something like that. It's just it doesn't break my heart.
Okay, good. So we can agree that is not it's not a huge blow to us, having the right to have a rifle, and then our good buddy Joshua Ferguson was saying that assault rifle is kind of a made up term, and now they're trying to ban it. Do you have a description in your head about what an assault rifle is, or what does an assault rifle mean to you, Mr. Wes Clayburn?
To me, there's no such thing as an assault rifle. An assault is an act you commit in order to inflict a harm to someone, and that's a choice. That has no. Just using the term assault, that catches a lot of people. But there is no such thing as an assault weapon. A weapon is a weapon until it's used to assault someone. Then it's an assault weapon. So is a rock. So is a 2x4. So is a fork. I mean, if I stab you with it's just a fork. But if I stab you with it, then that's an assault.
Don't you dare bring your assault fork to my dinner.
Hey, man, just make sure the steak's medium rare.
Alex, what does assault rifle mean to you?
Well, assault is a verb. Rifles are not verbs. That's an object. I don't like the term assault rifle because they're trying to turn AR into assault rifle. They think that that's synonymous. It's not. And I think what's funny, and there have been a few studies on this, you can take like an AR-15 and throw wood furniture on it, and all of a sudden people aren't scared of it anymore. I don't know what it is. Maybe people just don't like plastic. But I used to have some pretty good rifles in my stash that were they weren't plastic, you know. They had nice, beautiful cherry stocks, but if I were to compare the performance to an AR-15, there's no comparison. I mean, yeah, the AR is lighter, but long story short, assault rifles don't exist. Although I really want one of those chainsaw attachments, the rail-mounted chainsaw. Did you see that?
I have not seen that, but you have piqued my interest.
So CNN, when they were doing on one of the last shootings, they were showing possible attachments for an AR, and they depicted a chainsaw. So an arms accessory manufacturer decided to make one.
Well, I have a weed eater like that, so I mean, I guess I could make it an assault weed eater.
You could.
Rapid fire too.
It would solve the close quarters issues of rifles too, because I did get into a debate the other day with someone, and they're like, knives don't need these bans because knives, you can't kill someone from long distance. You know, it really takes down your possible injuries. Well, this guy apparently got 17 people. In China recently, someone got like 27 with a knife.
Yeah.
So you know that weed eater attachment.
No, that was like over 100. Unless we're crossing.
I'm talking about a more recent one.
Okay.
Like 27 people in a train station.
Just to interrupt you real quick, Josh said that we need a Tide Pod attachment.
Yeah, that would honestly, that would probably kill more people. I'd be down for a Tide Pod, a rail-mounted Tide Pod launcher ban.
Dude, you could hit every orifice, and people would just fall over dead. It would be immaculate.
It may be a way for the NRA to win over millennials.
Perhaps the forbidden fruit launcher, the forbidden fruit launcher.
Nice.
I like it.
Okay, so
I do feel
does not mean assault rifle.
No, AR does not mean it's Armalite rifle.
Thank you. That's a great misconception. And so now we have these kids giving speeches, and they're calling for President Trump to have gun bans, and there's a whole lot of like, all right, so if they had like a really good idea to present something, but like terms like gun ban and we need to do something and something has to be done, it's like, okay, well, give us an idea. It's not like
what can we make? How can we make this better?
Idea that can be brought to the table, but bring some ideas to the table, and I guess the bump stock is the first step into taking away. But it could be scary because you take away the bump stock, then they're going to take away, maybe slugs. Then they're going to take away shit. They're going to take away scopes or sniper rifles, and then one day the government's going to come knocking on everybody's door trying to take their gun away. I mean,
can I stop you there?
That is what a lot of people are want to happen.
Can I stop you there?
I think the hijacking of terminology when dealing with this issue in general is pretty important as well, because you got people using these focus group words or whatever that pique someone's interest. Yeah, it's like the assault deal. I mean, it's not an assault weapon. Assault is used to intensify the weapon. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're totally onto something there. Travis just had one of those slips too. A sniper rifle. Exactly. Any rifle in the hand of a sniper is a sniper rifle. Most snipers in World War II, they chose carbines. The Mosin Nagant, one of the most long-lived rifles in war, that was a carbine. It wasn't a sniper rifle, but snipers definitely chose it as a good weapon for, mid to close range combat. And mid range combat, you can snipe at mid range. But most of the rifles you're seeing as quote unquote sniper rifles are bolt actions, and you never hear anything about banning bolt action rifles. Except
That's
for
about
certain calibers.
Okay, so I stand corrected. I'm not a gun guy really. I've been to the shooting range a couple times, and that's the extent of it. So that's why I'm glad you two are here. But just to comment on how so I'm probably more well up to speed about guns just by reading about it and stuff. But then Josh wants to chime in and say in New York they tried to ban anything larger than 7-round magazines until somebody told them those don't exist. So they banned having more than 7-round magazines. So yeah, now we're going to leave it up to our politicians to create gun laws, which they have no fucking idea, and they're passing gun laws about which they have no idea of.
It would be like you passing gun laws.
It's great. That's awesome.
It'd be like you passing gun laws. I wouldn't trust you to pass gun laws.
Hey, I'll pass as many gun laws as I fucking want to. All right, Holmes.
You don't know shit about guns.
I know, but I would be perfectly suited as far as the credentials are concerned for people that are going to pass the gun laws.
Oh,
be
for sure,
right up there.
Did either of you see
that is necessary?
Oh, sorry, that was a lag issue. Did either of you see the meme that was?
Meme.
I walked into the meme.
Go ahead. Where
the guy walks into a store. I walked into this store and I passed a federal background check and waited 10 days and was able to document that I'm legally able to own this firearm. And look, I walked out of here with a rifle. Guns are too easy to get. Gun reform now. And I see that all the time. Look how easy it was for me to get this gun after I went through all the legal processes to get it, which took...
I guess in Florida, from what I was told by somebody that, who knows, but I guess they don't do background checks in Florida for AR-15s. Maybe I was lied to. I was arguing with somebody that was definitely banned fucking anything that you can hold in your hand. But
I'd have to look into that more.
But ban penises.
Well, fun fact for our viewers: big bore air rifles aren't regulated at all. You can get a suppressed big bore air rifle, so it's already quiet because it's an air rifle. But you can get a 45 big bore air rifle, which can take down a deer, silenced with a nice scope on it, accurate to the same distances as some good mid-range carbines. And there's no regulations. No, I think some states might regulate that you have to be 18 or older, but you can buy it on the internet. All it takes is 45 pellets, which are bigger than the actual bullets. They hit with more force, definitely just as deadly, if not more deadly.
And it's an air gun?
These things, yeah, and it's an air gun, so there's no regulation whatsoever.
Let's just ban all those too. Why not?
I mean, with the trends going the way they are, sure, but they'd have no grounds that they could do it because these things only do a single charge at a time, so they'd be considered bolt action even if they were regulated.
Well, maybe No Country for...
I'm sorry, go ahead, Wes.
Well, maybe No Country for Old Men was actually a futuristic movie.
What do you mean by that?
The main character, the assassin, used some kind of pressurized weapon that I guess used compressed air to kill his victims.
That was the Clint Eastwood movie, right, with the neighbors? No, I got that wrong.
One second, I'm looking into something real quick.
No Country for Old Men. No, I think I'm mixing that one up with something else.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men was about an assassin. Oh crap! He was out to kill somebody who stole some money from him, and Tommy Lee Jones was a Texas Ranger that was trailing him,
which already ruins any credibility of this story.
And I think Woody Harrelson was in it too.
You leave Tommy Lee Jones alone, Damn you.
So for any of our listeners that might be interested, there's a really cool Texas-based company that we are definitely not sponsored by, but please sponsor us, called Air Gun Depot. So if you guys want to check out those air rifles I was talking about, go take a look-see.
All right.
They are based out of Texas. Air Gun Depot.
Texas Air Gun Depot. Coming to
you get to support the great. You get to support the Republic of Texas.
Yep, nice. It's basically a country. They've got their own pledge.
Yes, we do.
All right. So, I mean, what do you two make of these kids making these speeches and then everyone just losing their fucking mind over it? I mean, now the kids are going to Gran Torino. Thank you, Tatiana. What do you guys think about all these kids making these speeches, tugging on the heartstrings, people? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Did you see the photo shoots? Oh, sorry. I was going to say, did you see the photo shoots?
I have seen those floating around.
Yeah. I can't click out of anything in my window right now, but if you guys could bring something up. What's the little kid's name?
David Hogg.
David Hogg. So apparently this kid was in California for some other kind of event, and then now just happened to be in Florida giving a speech about these same issues. His mom works for CNN apparently, and now here goes the rabbit hole of what could and could not possibly be true.
Well, there is some
can be true at the same time. There could be some weird thing.
There's some. Oh, sorry.
I watched the video of the dead teacher today, so that was kind of swaying me in some circumstance that the kids there's an egregious video on Twitter. I should probably I'll post it on Mercury's Cast on Facebook, where the kids are in the classroom and their teacher is dead on the floor. Now, if it was a substitute teacher, then maybe that would be one thing, but that was like one of their teachers. And I'm not saying that I've looked into it that much because it's hard for me to really go down this rabbit hole, but a friend of the podcast, Kurt Richard Haskell, it's hard to get him to be friended on Facebook. You would have to use me as a reference. It's tough.
You'd have to use me as a reference. He's probably not going to take any more Travis friends.
He's had 0. All right, there, buddy.
But,
I mean, he goes deep.
I was gonna say, Wes. I don't know if you saw this. I think I might have said something on Travis's page. I can't even. Days are blurring into each other right now, but I saw that this kid's dad was or is an FBI higher up, and supposedly he ran LAX. So that would kind of explain this kid being in Los Angeles. But this guy, like, does it strike you at all as odd that this kid's dad is in the FBI? Everyone seems, and this very kid even said that he had concerns about this kid who's going to shoot up the school. And his dad's in the FBI, and the FBI knows about this and knew about it beforehand. Does it strike you at all as odd that his anti-Trump dad had almost no way of not knowing about this, who's a higher up in the FBI, and nothing gets done? And the same, like 2 days later, this kid's giving anti-gun speeches and anti-Trump speeches. Does that strike you at all as somewhat odd or fishy?
Yeah, there's a couple things that do, as always.
Travis, I was asking Wes.
Oh, I don't know if he's informed on it, but go ahead, Wes, if you have any information on that.
I know of what of what you're talking about because I've been able to see bits pieces of it on social media. That's a lot of coincidences. I mean, I wouldn't, in the political climate that we're in right now, and the tricks that have been played, and basically the no shame about it political attitude of well, we can act righteous and mad about it, but it's going to be the same old shit, just different day attitude. I mean, I wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past. I mean, not put it past, but I wouldn't throw it out of the realm of possibilities that his dad. You know, if my son, if I was in the FBI and my son came home and told me, Dad, I think there's a kid that, you know, possibly he's nuts. He's been kicked out of school, and I think he might shoot the place up. I'm going to check into it as a parent. I mean, you know, screw my badge or whatever. I mean, I'm going to check into it as a parent. What, you know, why
right.
the
Correct.
the fact that it was overlooked
strikes me as odd is that, and for anyone that's tuning in, we've already gone over. You know, we've expressed our sympathy for any potential victims of families and friends and anybody of that. Now we're just kind of talking on to some stuff that strikes us as weird, but didn't the Mueller investigation, the FBI Mueller investigation, and last Friday, exactly when this shit happened, to now to divert our focus off of, I mean, just saying potentially this one thing happens and then this next thing happens, and then now all our focus of the FBI is on these missed tales that we've had of a person that could have been, you know, he said, I'm going to be a professional school shooter. We lost Alex. I got to invite him back. No,
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still there?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. You dropped off of Facebook. Anyways, maybe I just never mind. I just thought the timing of it was weird because the whole Trump investigation is done now. Now the focus of them has shifted on 13 people, and then there's this FBI. And I'm not saying that the two are like for sure related, but that's just another thing that I just thought about. Like, now no one's thinking about that. Everything's the Russian collusion thing is almost gone, except for the people that are really holding on to it. And now it's turned into a gun control debate.
My issue is still looking at that photo shoot, seeing that anchor's face, that genuine smile.
Oh,
and I know what that smile is. I know what that smile is. That smile is, oh my, this is going to be such a big story. It's like there's no heart in it anymore. You know, I don't fit to a lot of the mainstream norms, and I'm one that will definitely chew Fox a new one just as quick as I will CNN. But like just that shameless look of my agenda is going to get pushed extra hard now. It's just so disgusting.
Yeah, that was not a remorseful. That was terrible. No matter how you slice that photo, it was terrible.
Like, it's just tasteless. Like, I'm not super comfortable with us even doing this episode because I feel like it is still a little too soon. But I found that just so tasteless. And I'm someone with like no taste as is, as one can tell from the bow tie. I have no taste. But that just even
too, so
well,
I just sorry, continue.
Well, I think you know what a lot of people don't want to brush on or think about is there is a morality issue to this whole debate. I mean, I think you know there's a morality issue that's been that hasn't been addressed. And you know, you take a kid, you pump him full of meds because you can't handle him as a child, and tell your child, oh, don't worry, it's not you, it's that darned ADD. And then you know you pump him full of drugs, and then he goes out into the real world, or you know he's been heavily medicated. He's been playing first person shooter games his whole life. So sitting there in front of his TV, you know, blowing somebody's head off. I mean, you know, it becomes second nature. It just becomes that it's on TV. It's an inanimate object. That's all it is. It's just a scene, you know, and that right there. I mean, you know, for me, I didn't have games. I mean, we had Duck Hunt, you know, on Nintendo.
I'm gonna draw
no matter how many times you shot him, you couldn't kill him.
that's going to be a strong area of contention here because as someone, I am the ADD kid, and I am the kid that grew up on horribly violent video games. I am so I find violence in life so abhorrent. I don't like it. I don't condone it. And I was raised on first-person shooters. You know, I played Perfect Dark on my N64. I'm a gamer through and through. There's violence depicted, but the kid clearly is insane because it takes an insane person to correlate. I'm going to do it in a game versus I'm going to do it in real life.
Oh,
I don't blame the video games, and in fact, I find that argument of blaming the video games to be misplaced. I blame the kid for doing it.
I think the video games maybe, but more importantly, there is an issue of mental health in this country. I think maybe that's more of what he was getting at. And
yeah, perhaps.
I mean, I would like to know how many of the school shooters had played these type of games. Not that it's a direct correlation or that somebody normal would do that, but
and I was referring to how it desensitizes the act itself.
Well, I will say, as like for desensitization, I've seen some pretty awful stuff in video games. If you guys want to go on the YouTube, look up Grand Theft Auto 5 torture scene. Comparing that to the first time I got sent a link for like Mexican cartel snuff, yeah, that didn't desensitize me at all. I saw someone get their head cut off with a Bowie knife, and it still shook me just as, like, even thinking about it, and I'm still a little shaken by it. So,
no, I've seen one beheading video, and that was enough for me, and I just avoid all that shit altogether. And I saw a video of somebody in Africa cutting the dead skin off their foot, the bottom of their feet with a knife, and you know, I'm not desensitized. Just call me sensitive. Shit, call me a fucking
You are sensitive.
snowflake.
You beautiful, sensitive bastard. But I did have an interesting question, and it was an interesting point, and it's one of those gotcha moments. I'd be interested, as Travis said, to know how many of these shooters have played these games. I want to know how many of these anti-gun people, any of these students that have come forward, I want to know how many of them have played the violent first-person shooter games. I want to know how many. I want to know how many anti-gun people watch Hollywood films with gratuitous action scenes. With, you know, how many of them have watched Rambo and rooted him on? You know,
or there's the worst gore flick, and I didn't even make it through the trailer, so I know I'll never watch it. I think it's called No Solicitors. It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's society is taking a crazy turn.
Well, we've gotten a little off here, so
yeah. Joshua just presented how many of them he's interested in. How many of them can accurately name a weapon? Which that's
a good question.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think that any of them could differentiate an AR-15 from an M4A1.
Well, this last shooter apparently was obsessed with guns.
I highly doubt any of them could differentiate like a Springfield from a Mosin Nagant. So that's the gun with the wood, and that's the one with the plastic.
Yeah, and if you can take a Mosin and get some aftermarket parts for a Mosin and make it look like something Jason Bourne would have in his arsenal.
Yep, that's the next. That's my next gun. Actually, I want to do an AR retrofit on a Mosin Nagant.
Awesome. Or an AR-15 from a Nerf gun.
Because that's like a $90 to $100 gun I can pick up and turn into something that, you know, still reliable, still durable, but really cool. But I think I'm going to summarize my stance on it before my phone decides to die, even though it's plugged in.
I'd say we're almost.
I think that it's a little soon for anyone to be drawing conclusions. So the fact that the anti-gun side is already jumping on this while it's still fresh, they're just taking advantage of sorrow. And I think that that is despicable. And I think that if we're going to have a rational discussion about this, it needs to be maybe just for once when something like this isn't going on. Maybe just have the discussion when everyone's kind of calm.
Yes, you never make a lasting emotion or a lasting decision off of recent emotion. It's one thing. It's like some philosopher said it somewhere, or so. You never make a lasting decision off of recent emotion, especially if that emotion is extreme, like the loss of children or what may have you.
I think we could all take benefit from that. Actually, I think I'm going to apply that to my life. That was actually really good, Travis, and I'm not even being a dick about that. I actually appreciate that. That's a good quote.
Well, I love you too, brother. You're not going to make fun of me anymore?
I'll still make fun of you, but I'll try and keep it a little more tame.
Oh, damn it. I thought that was my opportunity. Well, yeah, it's just, the whole country is up in arms right now, and everybody's giving. And here's another thing, is that when Columbine happened, or I think Orlando happened. No, Orlando happened last year. There's a couple ones that happened under, like, and when there's a terrorist attack with guns, like, where are all the speeches and shit then? It seems like just because Trump is a good target right now, that they're choosing to do it because it's Trump.
I'm going to repeat what I said.
He is an easy target because he says a lot of dumb shit, and he's for whatever reason.
My stance on that, Travis, is that it's the same as what I just said for these shootings. Is even in the terrorist ones, these discussions need to be made when everyone's calmed down. We can't make decisions. Law is a lasting thing. Law is a really long process. I'm not for most of it, but if we're going to be passing laws that are permanent, I don't think we should be doing it while that stuff's ever fresh in the mind. I think it should be done when it's rational, when everyone's calm.
Well, and you have a really good point, because I mean, look at how irrational the ones that are calling for complete total gun bans, whatever, are the same ones who 3 weeks ago were calling Trump Hitler, saying Republicans are nothing but white supremacists, yada yada. So now let's just take all of the guns and let's give them to Hitler. I mean,
that's the left right. That's the left right dichotomy. The short sightedness. I equate keeping out Trump's immigration reform is just like the gun bans. Oh, so if a couple of these little people here are going to do bad things, we got to keep them all out. Okay, so a couple crazies with their guns are going to do this, so we're going to ban all the guns. No, we need rational reform. We need to look at everything.
3 million people in this country. How many crazies do you think they're going to be? I mean, and I've been thinking about this, and like the only countries that have a higher population than us are usually poor countries that don't have a lot of guns. America just happens to be a wealthy country that has a high population. You don't see that a lot in the world. I'm not saying we are the only ones, and if someone has a better thought on that, then cool.
California as a state has a higher population than Canada as a country. Just keep that in mind.
And almost Australia, I believe.
I'd believe it.
As Eddie Bravo would say, look into it.
Well, and for the gun buyback program in Australia, I think only half of those guns are accounted for.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, unless anyone else has anything to add, I think we've about covered it. Hopefully they don't come and take away our guns, because guess what? The first thing that they did in Nazi Germany
and Russia
was first thing they did.
Guns.
Your guns.
I'm gonna close it on this. Our video of the week. Maybe that'll be a thing. I would definitely advise any listeners to look up the volcanic eruption in Indonesia. Spectacular. No injuries yet, so I don't feel shame bringing it up.
So we'll post that one on the Facebook and Twitter. And what was the other one that we were going to post it? Do you remember?
Crypto related? I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to go back. Anyways, this has been Mercury's Cast 80. Wes Clayburn, thank you for coming back on. It was nice to talk to you. Alex, it was fair as usual. Wes, can I get you to tell people out there to step their game up?
Step your game up.
That was good. Alex, do you want to tell them?
Yeah. Step game, you're up.
Well, Alex,
All
it was
right,
very nice meeting you.
It was a pleasure.
All right, go ahead, Wes, I
honestly.
didn't mean to cut you off. Did you enjoy talking with us tonight? I know you didn't enjoy talking to Alex, but did you at least enjoy talking with me?
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed it. I wish I would have done it sooner, but this whole thing, just kind of that's why I reached out to you today, because I had seen your post. So
cool.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it, man.
Sooner. How about that?
I'm definitely hoping as things calm down in your neck of the woods, we might have you on more, because I think it's been really great having you on the show this evening.
Well, y'all have a great night. I really did enjoy it.
Thanks, Wes. We enjoyed you too. This has been Mercury's Cast 80. Step your game up. All right, Facebook's done, and we'll
kill the YouTube.